You've got your inlets and outlets with data flowing, but now you're thinking, what if I need to reshape, enrich, or completely transform this data before it reaches its destination? Let's talk about transformers. Welcome to another essential episode in our connector series, where we're exploring transformers, the powerful middleman that sits between your data sources and destinations, giving you complete control over how your information gets processed. Here's our game plan. We'll start by building a mapping transformer to restructure outgoing data. Then, we'll create a service transformer located external to our connector, written in Python, that will modify incoming data. Ready to unlock the full potential of your data streams with intelligent transformation? Let's dive in. When you need to modify, enrich, or restructure data as it flows through your inlet and outlet connectors, you can add components called transformers. Transformers are processing components that intercept messages within your data pipeline. Messages flow into the transformer where transformations are applied before being output to the next stage. In an outlet, it sits between your consumer and sink, and an inlet between your source and producer. We provide two main types: mapping transformers and service transformers. Mapping transformers use Bloblang to reformat, convert, filter, or reshape data, fast and lightweight with no external dependencies. Service transformers can handle more complex operations, like database lookups, API calls, and business logic in your preferred language deployed wherever needed. They simply listen on a NAT subject to receive messages and respond with the transformed data. So when data flows through your connectors, inbound from external systems or outbound from NATs, it's automatically transformed according to your specifications at the configured point in the pipeline. For this video, I'm going to use the same publisher that we've been using throughout the series. Remember, it's a simple program to publish temperature data to the subject telemetry.sensors.temperature on the stream temperatures. Your connector is sending data, but what if it arrives in the wrong format? Enter the mapping transformer. It reshapes, filters, and enriches your data in real time as it moves through your pipeline. The key advantage? Everything happens in line. No separate microservices, no additional processors, no extra hops. Your transformation logic lives directly on your connector. Handle format conversions, conditional logic, field calculations, enrichment, filtering, and validation, all in one place, powered by Bloblang. Use it whenever you need to modify messages between systems without the overhead of separate services. Let's build one. Before we create our mapping transformer, we need to create the connector that will use it. I'm going to use BigTable and create an outlet. If you want more of a walkthrough of this process, check out our previous outlets video. For now, we'll move quickly through the setup, just enough to get our BigTable outlet running. First step, creating a table and credentials. So I do already have myself set up here, but don't worry, I'm going to walk you through it. First, we need to create our instance. So go ahead and name it and pick your region, and let's move on. Back on the Instances dashboard, click into your instance. And now click Tables so we can create our table. So we named our table Temperatures, and we need to add a column family. Column families are required containers in BigTable that group related columns together. We're going to call ours Data, and this is where our data will reside. You can go ahead and click Create. We're not going to worry about the other options for now. Back on the dashboard, let's click BigTable Studio and check it out. If you click into our table and then click into column families, you'll see our data column family. And now we're going to need to create our service account and credentials. Go ahead and jump over to service accounts and create one. Once you've created your service account, click into it so we can create a key. Now you're going to want to keep track of this key because you'll need it later. And after you're set up here, let's go back to the Synadia dashboard. So now that we're set up in GCP, let's create our outlet. Go ahead and find GCP BigTable, and we want to sync. We're going to use NAT's core, and our outlet is going to use the temperature subject we've been using in our connector series so far. Let's pick our GCP project and our instance, and this is where you'll copy those credentials we created earlier. And we'll pick our temperatures table. For our key, we'll use our timestamp field, and our data will just be the message itself. And like our previous videos, give it a name and a description. So I started the connector. Let's go to BigTable and check out our data. So let's refresh and see it. And oh boy, what's going on? Let's go check out our connector logs. Click into the connector and let's scroll down to check out the logs. Let's find the most recent one. And if you look at it, you might notice something. And would you look at that? Invalid message format. So what's going on here? I'm sure you've surmised by now that our data isn't in the right format for BigTable. I think the picture is becoming clear now as to why we want a transformer here. So let's make a mapping transformer to get our data in the right format. In our connector, click Add Transformer. And we want a mapping transformer. And this is where we're going to add our Bloblang code. So let's talk about it. This is what our Bloblang is going to look like. We're simply taking each message and creating a new one from it. Our message, or root, will have a key. That'll be the timestamp of the original message. Our message data will account for our column family data and include the data from our original message. Okay, let's go copy this in. We're going to go ahead and paste that here under source code, and we should be good to go. The last thing we have to do is modify our connector to now use our key field and data field from our transformer. So our key is now just this.key, and our data is just this.data. And I restarted the connector with the transformer in place, and now we can go check out BigTable again. Let's run our query and see if we have any data. And heck yeah, we have data. Look at us. We created a BigTable outlet, put a mapping transformer on it, and now everything is happy. So that was cool. Mapping transformers are great for inline reshaping, but sometimes you need more. Enter service transformers. They handle what mapping transformers can't: accessing data anywhere, complex logic in any language, and deployment flexibility. Need to pull from edge devices, query databases behind firewalls, or call restricted APIs? Service transformers can live on the edge, in the cloud, or on premises, wherever your architecture demands. Write transformations in Python, Go, Java, whatever fits your use case. Handle heavy computation that would block inline processing. Scale independently from your connectors. The beauty? It's just NATs handling the messaging. You write the code, deploy it where you need it, and your pipeline stays clean. Service transformers are built on Synadia workloads, and in fact, so are connectors. We'll dive deeper in workloads in another series. For now, let's create our service transformer. So back on the Synadia platform dashboard, we'll pick up where we left off in our previous connector series videos. Previously, we sent data from our NATS temperature stream using a MongoDB outlet and then pulled that data back into NATS using a MongoDB inlet. You can see I have both of them already started. We're going to put this service on our inlet, so let's see what the output from the inlet currently looks like. So this is the stream our inlet outputs to. Now, when we look at the data we're getting from MongoDB, we can see that it includes a lot of excess fields from the MongoDB change stream. We don't want that. We want it to be pretty, and we're going to use a service transformer to do this. Again, the service transformer is convenient because it's just NATS. We're listening on a subject, changing the messages, and responding with them, all via NATS. So let's check out the service. I'm hosting this service locally on my computer, but I could really put it anywhere. I decided to use Python for this service. I figured it would be fun to do it in something other than Go. Again, the cool thing is you can write these service transformers in the language of your choice. So what is this service doing? It's a NATS microservice, which if you're curious about, check out this link. We're simply connected to our NAT system and subscribe to the subject temperature.analyze. When our inlet gets messages, it will forward them to the subject as a request and then get the transform message as a response. So our code is simply taking in the message and parsing it to get the data we want. We then pass the temperature to a function that classifies our temperature reading as cold, warm, or hot. We'll add a new field to the message with this categorization and then send the transform message back. So let's go back to our inlet and hook this up. Back on the Synadia dashboard, let's click into our inlet and then click Add Transformer. This time, we want a service transformer. And our endpoint is temperature.analyze. And that's it. So I stopped the inlet, and now I'm going to restart it with our transformer in place. Now, I'm going to start our service. And then I'll start the publisher. Now let's go back and check out the output from our inlet. Back on the inlet stream, let's find the newest message. And there you go. Check it out. We have our new field. And best of all, the message, it's pretty. Transformers are incredibly powerful. We've covered how to reshape your data on the fly with simple built-in mapping transformers and how to build custom service transformers in any language you want and deploy them wherever it makes sense for your architecture. I mentioned that a lot of this magic is powered by Synadia workloads, and we've got a whole new series coming up to dive into that, so stay tuned. All the code from today's examples is linked in the description below. Grab it and experiment with these transformers using your own data. If you found this helpful, drop a like and subscribe for more NATS integration content. And if you build something cool with transformers, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.